Hello reception, Mr. Gear here for our third lesson about repeating patterns. Repeating patterns. Now, I've come outside today, welcome to my garden, because this one needs a little bit more room, plus also it can get a little bit noisy. So I've come out here so that I don't disturb the baby. Now, we've been looking at different sorts of patterns over the last couple of days. And we've looked at patterns using shapes. So we did around a square and around a circle and in a spiral. We looked at how they repeat over time. So we have to go red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. We've also looked at the patterns in our own homes. So I showed you a mug that has some patterns on. And I showed you a cushion that's got star patterns on. And there are patterns all around us. Now, did you also know that we can make patterns not just by things that we see, but also with our bodies? So that's what we're going to be doing today. The first one is we're going to be making our own patterns with our bodies. So for example, a really, really well-known pattern is one like this. You go stamp, stamp, clap, stamp, stamp, clap, stamp, stamp, clap, stamp, stamp, clap. That's a really, really well-known one from a song. So the first challenge for you today is to come up with your own pattern using your bodies. So you could do shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder, head. Or you could do something even better like jump, jump, star, jump, 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 star, jump. Or jump, jump, star, jump, star, jump, 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 star, jump. Star, jump, jump, jump. Do anything like that. You could do twists in the air. You could do cartwheels. Actually, maybe don't do cartwheels, especially not if you're indoors. But I'd like you to come up with your own patterns using your body. Now, there's a fun game you could play with this. Now, I can't play it at the moment because I'm on my own. But if you're with your family, what you could do is you could get all of your family to stand in a circle and you make up a pattern. So, for example, if the pattern was the stomp, stomp, clap, stomp, stomp, clap, then you get everyone in a circle and they have to do what comes next in the pattern. So, for example, the first person would have to go stomp, the next person would have to go stomp, and then the next person would go clap, the next person stomp, the next person stomp, the next person clap. If they get it wrong, then they lose a life. You could even write down the names of everyone in your family and give them 3 lives, and every time they get it wrong, you cross off a life, and you can see who gets to the end still having the most lives left. That's challenge number 1. Now, the next one is a little bit noisier than that. We're making a bit of noise with clapping, but we don't just have to make it with our bodies. We can also make it using some other things. Now, I've got these from my kitchen, but you'll need to ask your mums and dads what you're able to use. Now, I know some of you own drums. Like I know Veer owns an Indian drum, and he uses it to hit the 2 sides. Did you know that you do that in a pattern, Veer? You hit one side a number of times, then you hit the other side, and so on. Now, I've taken inspiration from that, but I've got a pot and I've got a spoon. Okay, so I can do exactly the same. I've also got a bowl. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit them in a pattern. Ready? But you can make up any pattern you like. So I could just use one of them. I'd go. Or I could use the other one and I could just go. Or again, I can use both of them. So I could go, putting those 2 together. So that's my pattern, or those are my patterns. Now what you could do is maybe you could make up your own instruments. So you could make some drums, you can make some shakers maybe, and then you can give each instrument a pattern. So, and then maybe as a family you can make your own little band up, couldn't you? So let's have a recap. Challenge number 1 is to make up a pattern using your body. So clap, clap, jump, or stomp, stomp, clap. any pattern you like, so long as it repeats and you do it over and over and over again. And remember that game I told you about that you could play with your family. Challenge number 2 is to make your own musical instruments, and for each instrument to give them a pattern that you'd like them to be played. I can't wait to see them on Tapestry, on Facebook and on Instagram. Stay safe.